How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. The market is falling. It's scaring people. There's some pretty bad news or some pretty scary news happening today, but I want to be the calming voice. I want to tell you what you should be paying attention to, what you should be worried about, what you shouldn't be worried about. And we actually have Michael Saylor talking about literally what's happening today. He kind of talked about it, though, several weeks ago, and he called the missile strike that's happening right now. If you don't mind, hit subscribe. Turn on the bell notification underneath the video. All this will make sense by the end of the video. If you want to trade this market, I've been saying this is the time to put in long positions. When there's some uncertainty, when we're seeing a bit of a dip, this is the time to put in positions before we continue to see the Fed lower rates, before we continue to see good economic data come in, when we see Q4, where we typically go up, or quantitative easing where we typically go up. This is the time to put positions in. Plus, you can also put limit orders. So you can say, well, I'm not going to open a position unless we tap 60,000. You can do that over on Margex. There's a link to this underneath the video. Let's start here. It seems like total market collapse, right? We're down a couple percent on Bitcoin. Bitcoin was hitting under 62,000. Altcoins are falling down. Solana's under 150. Keep in mind, if you look at the last 30 days, we're still up significantly on a lot of cryptos. Bitcoin's up 7.1%. For the year, Bitcoin's up 50+%. But, people get scared. The NASDAQ's down a couple percent here today. Now, rallying up a little bit. But there's some news that people do not like. Also, there are some liquidations happening in Bitcoin, too, in crypto, which can cause the price to go down. People that are going like 100x leverage. They're just being really risky with it. The VIX, the volatility index, is moving up. It's up 14.4% for the day, and Coinbase shuts down. Coinbase is down during the royal flush, obviously. So predictable, says Marty Party. Yeah, so if you're on Coinbase, get a second exchange. Make sure that you have some liquidity, because when the top of the market comes and when there are massive dips or even just a little bit of volatility, Coinbase goes down. It's really annoying. But the reason there's some volatility, well, there are 50,000 port workers now across the U.S. that are on strike for the first time since 1977. These ports handle nearly 40% of all U.S. imports and could cost the U.S. up to $5 billion per day. It's affecting a lot of the big companies. Big retailers are really exposed to this. And then obviously, too, if you've been paying attention to the news at all today, Iran launched missile attacks on Israel. It looks like right now, Israeli bunkers, the automated system is saying that you can get out of them now. So maybe that's a little bit why the NASDAQ is moving back up and why Bitcoin's bouncing a little bit here today. But it still scares the market when there are literally missiles being fired. People are thinking that maybe bigger countries are going to have to come in and take sides. Keep in mind, Michael Saylor actually just talked about this 3 weeks ago, literally talking about missile attacks. Let's listen.
Now, I think I just saw a headline that $1.2 billion in outflows took place out of the Bitcoin ETF. And I'm curious, sir, what you think is going on with the impact of the ETF on the price of Bitcoin.
I think generally it's been a good thing and it's created more demand. But you got to keep in mind that Bitcoin is smart, fast, strong money. So on a Saturday night, if you're worried about a missile strike, you can't teleport your $10 million apartment to Singapore, lever it up 10 to 1 and short $100 million worth of New York real estate. But you can short $100 million worth of Bitcoin by borrowing $10 million. So you have a lot of fast money traders, a lot of volatility, and that will cause and ripple into volatility in the ETFs.
Can you explain
That's okay.
Okay, so he says Bitcoin's just very liquid. Like, traders like to trade it, which is actually good. I think he goes on to talk about how volatility is really good for Bitcoin. Keep in mind, too, we're still up over 10% since he talked about this 3 weeks ago. So on a day like today, I think we need to take advice from some of the good influencers out there. Maybe you already know this, but some advice for today: don't panic sell. Dips are for buying, but don't rush. Be patient and DCA prioritize alts that were leading the market last week, like memes and AI. Chill and stop looking at the headlines. Another good one from Lady of Crypto. Heads up, guys. Bank holiday in China today. And for the rest of the week, this means less liquidity in the Asian session. Less liquidity means bigger potential dumps. With everything going on, be ready for volatility. And I actually do have a video too, if you're wondering if now is a good time to be buying. There's a Caleb Hammer video that I was watching. But I do have a video on my channel as well. I'll plug it at the end of the video so that you can just click the screen, where I talk about whether now is a good time to be buying Bitcoin. And it walks through a couple different situations. So be on the lookout for that. But Overall, we do have Bitcoin dominance moving up. You can see we were down all the way down to 57.1% from a peak of 58.5 or 58.6, but now we're starting to move up a little bit. It looks like actually a good warning from Gary Gensler. Surprising, right? Investor alert, beware of relationship investment scams where fraudsters might seek targets online, on social media, or through text. Fraudsters slowly build up trust. Once fraudsters gain trust, they convince targets to invest their money. Yeah, there are people that do that with my channel, so do not fall for that. Okay, keep in mind, right? There's a lot of volatility right now. There are liquidations. There's actually a significant amount of volume. Like iBit right now has got $1 billion already halfway through the day. Halfway through the trading day, it's got $1 billion in volume. So maybe we see a big outflow day from the ETFs. Keep in mind, these hedge funds can move very quickly in and out of assets, which can cause them to fall down. But some of it's just based on fear, right? And then they reposition. And this is really interesting. I showed this in the last video, but BlackRock's published this graph and shows that the 10-day performance after some big escalation, right? Some geopolitical event, some geopolitical uncertainty. They show the 10-day return of different assets and the 60-day. For the 10-day, it's quite volatile. Sometimes Bitcoin does better, sometimes it does worse. Typically, half the time it outperforms, and then half the time it's about on par or slightly down from other assets. Like in COVID, it was down 25% versus 20% on SPX. But for example, regional banking crisis, instead of the SPX, which was down 2%, it was up 25%. Bitcoin was up 25%. But the 60-day, that's where it's at. 20% up, 21%, 131, 15, 32, outperforming gold and SPX. So today, Bitcoin's dumping. But all roads lead to Bitcoin, and part of the reason for that is that almost every single geopolitical event requires money, right? Either stimulus here or some kind of financial aid to a different country, arms, that kind of stuff. And what does that do? Well, it devalues the US dollar. It causes other risk assets to become more valuable, especially scarce assets. So on a day like today, while it seems like the whole market is in total collapse, it's not a good time to be panic selling. Typically, Bitcoin does well after events like this. So I'm going to continue to return to this and show, hey, this isn't true forever, right? There will be some time where I'm sure Bitcoin will end up down on the 60-day if it's something that we just can't break out of, like some kind of big recession. But the fact is, whenever there's geopolitical uncertainty, people turn to Bitcoin. It just takes a little while for them to wrap their heads around, okay, after the initial selling, what do I do? What should I do? And a lot of people turn to Bitcoin. Let me know your thoughts on all this, though, underneath the video. Like I said, if you do want to put in some trades, if you want to either short the market or long the market, you can do market trades. You can do limit trades. Just get everyone or get all your positions set up so that you're ready for the next dip or the next pump. Because I guarantee you there will be another dip. There will be a 20% crash in a day. There's going to be a 20% pump in a day. There's going to be all that. It's always going to be, there's always going to be one coming. So you want to position yourself, be ready for those dips. And at this point, if you're just sitting on your hands, yeah, it's just another day. You're just waiting for more bull market, right? More cowbell. But I am still very bullish for the end of the year and the year going forward. Let me know your thoughts, though, underneath the video. Of course, be careful of scammers down there. I really appreciate you watching. Let me know what you're doing today. If you're just watching these events thinking, wow, I need to get some more Bitcoin, or just sitting on your hands, let me know in the comments section. Also, let me know what you're drinking. I'm drinking some water right now, but going to a lunch meeting, and yeah, gonna probably have a beer there. Let me know your thoughts, though, and let me know what you're drinking. Appreciate you, and I'll see you all in the next video. If you want to see this video on the end screen, probably right here, about whether you should buy or sell Bitcoin right now, check it out. Thank you so much. See you in the next one. Bye.